WSB record.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your fifth and final contest. 5 3-minute rounds of boxing in the heavyweight division at 91 kilos plus. Introducing to you firstly, representing German Eagles, please welcome Philipp GRUNER.
Now, Philipp GRUNER has got WSB experience, Glenn. Hasn't got the best of records, won 1, lost 4. He was boxing for the Leipzig Leopards that last season. But a national champion, a gold medalist from Germany. And if nothing else, the WSB experience is something that will put him in good stead tonight.
It certainly will, and obviously far more experienced than Joseph Joyce. But there's something about the heavyweights, Nick, and I think you have to agree, all of a sudden we've got a change of atmosphere here in the arena straight out of the heavyweights.
And so, people of London, please be uprising for your hometown hero. Entering the building, representing British Lionhearts, JOYCE.
Well, there's a huge cheer for the London boy. He's out of the EARL'S Boxing Club, and there's a lot of fans that have come to see him in action. And Glenn, the reason why a lot of people are looking forward to seeing him, because it was a spectacular TKO in his first fight in the WSB up against Matteo Modugno in the 3rd round. The referee had no choice to stop the fight of the huge Italian. Cut him really badly under the eye, which was a sensational start. But let's hope his feet are back on the ground for tonight's match.
That's right, he did get a lot of rounds under his belt that night, but listen, he's a huge, huge favourite. He's an explosive, entertaining fighter, and that's why everyone loves to see him, and no doubt have turned out to watch him and support him tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is 5 3-minute rounds of boxing in the heavyweight division at 91 kilos plus. Introducing to you firstly, boxing out of the blue corner, wearing the blue coloured shorts trimmed with white. Tonight is his 6th contest in the WSB. He comes to the ring as the current German champion, representing German Eagles, Philipp GRUNER. And opposing him, boxing out of the red corner, wearing the red coloured shorts trimmed with white. His WSB record, 1 contest, 1 win. That win coming inside the distance. He is the current 2012 GB champion, hailing from London, representing the British Lionhearts, JOYCE.
Well, Glenn, he's 4 years the senior JOYCE to Philipp GRUNER, but Joyce was a late comer to boxing. He's a successful sportsman, a fine rugby player, a great swimmer, an all-round athlete, but he really has took to boxing with impressive style and speed.
He certainly has, and I think you've summed it up with that last word. He's an athlete. Everything he puts his hand to, this guy is very good at. One of those annoying guys in many respects, but listen, take nothing away from him. He's a great fighter. Don't blink, because he's very explosive.
And he's got a big punch. The Italian saw that at Celtic Manor. Of course, Joyce wasn't part of the British squad that went over to Kazakhstan. That was the Lionhearts' first defeat of the season, where they lost 5-0. This is possibly the best squad or the best team we can put together. We need the win, and 4-1 could be the outcome. This, the last heavyweight bout of the night here at Earl's Court. And immediately, those straight combination punches are out there to be seen from Joyce.
That's right, he's wasted no time, comes straight out, almost ran out of the corner. Comes straight out with those stiff, straight shots.
He's prepared well for this bout. He's been sparring with Anthony Joshua, of course, Britain's Olympic gold medalist from London. And every time you watch this lad, he looks to improve and fine-tune his skills at every time he comes out of that gym in Earlsfield, and for all his sparring.
He does. Got to be careful, though, because this German, he's looking to hook, trying to catch Joe on the way in. Got to be careful of those. He's coming in low of his head and he's whipping over those hooks. Got to keep him at bay. He's the bigger man. Don't mix it.
Now Joyce again gets through.
Better work. Get your shots off and move.
Well, Glenn, I was impressed with Joyce's footwork in the Celtic Manor, the first home match for the British Lionhearts. And again, he's showing that for a big man, he's a giant of a man. he can still remain nice and light on the feet. That means he can find those angles if he gets into a little bit of bother.
Certainly does, and he's doing that tremendously well. Sort of bamboozling Gruner at times, continuously moving, never static, never there to be hit, always moving.
Good uppercut that got through the guard there from Joe Joyce.
Yeah, great little flurry of shots there. And again, just seemed to stiffen the legs better of Gruner there.
Yeah, an incredibly strong right hook.
Yeah, an impressive start of this. Got to be careful of those hooks, like I just said from Gruner there, through it.
Covering up well, the German. Let's take nothing away from the young Philipp Gruner. He's forcing Joe Joyce to put a lot of those punches into the gloves. Oh, but not those. A 1-2 combination there. And a lovely uppercut from Joyce.
Yeah, he caught Joe a nice little hook, but he came straight back, Joe, with his own little combination.
There, that left lead jab. He's doing such a good job at opening up the defence for that right over the top through there.
The legs did a little dance then from Gruner. That piston-like jab coming from Joe.
Well, I'm sure we'd all agree, first round goes to Joe Joyce. The question is he going to put this German lad on the canvas?
Well, I'd be very, very surprised on that first round if this goes to distance, Nick. We've seen Gruner's legs stiffen just a little bit at times. He's feeling the weight of Joe's punches, make no mistake about that.
Strong work with the right hook, uppercut. And there, well, the German head coach really trying to force a little bit more movement comfortably, unanimously.
That's right. I think they're trying to tell the German to slip the shots, come in with the hooks. It's the only way of catching Joe. He's not going to outbox him. He's got to get close and get the hooks off.
Unanimous decision. First round goes to Joe Joyce for the British Lionhearts. If he wins this bout, the Lionhearts will take this 4-1 and will go into second position in the Group B standings.
And there's that hook we see him from Gruner. Listening to the corner's instructions. That's what Joe's going to have to be careful of. But again, Joe just kind of dominating with that piston-like jab, keeping Gruner at the end of it. We must just remind ourselves, Nick, these are big guys. When they hit with tremendous power.
Keep moving in with the combinations and out for Joyce. Frustrating the German almost now, Philipp Gruner.
There's that hook again from the Gruner. Just a reminder to Joe to keep your guard up, be prepared. Stay focused. But again, all the eye-catching, flamboyant, good quality work is all coming by way of Joe Joyce.
Much better work, though, from Joe Joyce. Again, looking comfortable to take this second round. Just a couple of scores, a couple of target hits from the German. Oh, but again, Joe gets caught on the counter punch from Gruner.
You have just got to be careful, stay focused.
Under a minute to go in this second round.
Oh, good right hand, left hook. Again, kind of seemed to stiffen the legs up of Gruner, but took the shot well. Boxing in a very controlled fashion, Nick. Joe.
Good to see for one so inexperienced.
That's right, not trying to, overexert himself, boxing well within his capabilities. Not taking any kind of unruly chances, which is nice and encouraging to see.
And with 15 seconds left, good exchanges from both. Good combinations from Joe Joyce.
Again, another one in the bag for Joe Joyce.
So Joe Joyce out of the Earlsfield gym. Sid Khan and Andy Stables, his coaches, didn't take up the sport till his early 20s, but of course twice the British champion, 2011 and 2012. Only got into his first major international tournament in October of this year. But you can see he's really enjoying his work in the WSB. Round 2, unanimous decision from all 3 judges. Joe Joyce of the British Lionhearts, now 2 up.
Made a big, big impression. As you say, didn't come into the game until quite late on, but he's made a big impression in the amateur game.
And who will be against? Come on, Lionhearts! 10 seconds. Seconds up.
Still looking light on his feet, Joe Joyce. And the British Lionheart towering above the German in the blue shorts. Just needs to keep this sort of work rate going.
Again, just getting caught with the hook there from Kruber. That's Kruber's only chance of making any kind of impression on this fight. Is catching Joe, slipping the hook, slipping the jab, and coming in with and again we're seeing it again now. A little bit more success with that hook. You have to wise up a little bit, be a bit more careful about it, because he's taken it 2 or 3 times too many already.
Two minutes in the 3rd round. Credit where it's due to Philipp Gruner for the German Eagles. He keeps coming forward at Joe Joyce. He's been hit with some pretty big punches and some good combinations. But you get the feeling that Gruner is not done yet, and Joe needs to stay sharp here.
You certainly do, and coming in now, he's listening to the instructions from the court. They're saying come in there, come in low, and then whip the hooks in, and had a little bit of success in this ring. Joe needs to get on his bike a little bit, needs to pepper that jab, keep it that stiff jab into Gruner's. Don't let him set his shot, don't let him plant his feet and get his shots off. Better work.
Oh, good counter punch there with the right hook. Straight onto it, Gruner there. Minute left in the 3rd round. Just to remind you, this is the World Series of Boxing. We're in the Earl's Court Arena in London, and it's 5 3-minute rounds for all 5 of the 5 fighters from the British Lionhearts. The Lionhearts are 3-1 up. 4-1 win will give them 3 points comfortably, and they'll go 2nd in the Pool B standings, just behind Kazakhstan. Good uppercut there from Joe Joyce. Not too dissimilar from Freddie Evans here, Glenn, is that it's a different type of bout, a different type of fight for Joyce, and it's all the experience that he's come here for. This is what he wants to learn in WSB.
That's right, and this is, against this Kruger tonight, he's going to have to dig deep. He's not having it all his own way. He's winning the fight, but he's got to stay focused, he's got to stay sharp, and he's got to keep boxing. When he stands still, he's there to be hit.
10 seconds left in the 3rd round here. If Joyce can tuck this one away, then he's just got to maintain his first 3-round tactic for the final 2. My card again has Joe Joyce now 3 rounds up. Well, Glenn, we talked about Joe Joyce being a good all-round athlete, and those physical skills will now come into play. Two judges giving the 10-9, 9-10 for just one. But still looking good for Joseph Joyce. Physical strength comes into play now in rounds 4 and 5.
It certainly does, but not just physical strength, psychological strength. And we must remind ourselves this is fairly new territory for Joe Joyce. And also for GRUNER, for that matter.
Seconds out. Round 4.
So the German national champion in the 4th round up against the British national champion. But it's WSB boxing here. No head guards, no vests, and 5 3-minute rounds. Joe Joyce is ahead for the British Lionhearts, on the cusp of giving the host nation a 4-1 win here tonight. And we got a little bit worried after losing the first of the 5 bouts. But once again, Joe Joyce going about his business with good power strength. Oh, but the German putting in a good counter there.
It certainly is. He's throwing these shots with a little bit more venom now, GRUNER. But what a reply back from Joe.
I'm sure that's the head coach, or the director of coaching for the British Lionhearts, Rob McCracken, who has these lads training up at the National Boxing Training Centre in Sheffield. Wants to see his boxers pushed, wants to see their skills tested. Credit where it's due. It's been a good German team. It's been a good match tonight. Just seems to be going the way of the British Lionhearts.
Oof, good shots going in from both fighters again. Great exchange.
Long lead jab from Joe Joyce.
But again, what a way that GRUNER comes back. He's been fronting with that hook quite dangerously and a bit frequently for my liking in this round. But Joe comes back, great right hand of himself. Again, Nick, this is going into the trenches. This is psychologically who wants it the most.
He can take a punch, GRUNER, there's no question of a doubt there, because Joe Joyce is hitting with his hardest right. Uppercut and a big one over the top. And GRUNER still coming forwards. Just over 30 seconds in this 4th round. Good strong finish now needed from Joyce.
It is, yeah. He just needs to get these shots off. Don't, and again, when he allows GRUNER to come close, that's when he's dangerous. He's the bigger man, he's got the longer arms, keep him at reach. Better work, pepper that jab out, keep GRUNER away, don't let him come close. Better work.
No holding. Stop.
Well, again, another round for Joe Joyce, in my opinion. He had a success as GRUNER, but for me, the more frequent, better quality of shots were coming from Joe Joyce.
Okay, now
I'm sure everybody will agree. Once again, Glenn, let's take a look at the slow-mos here. And I think you said it yourself in that 4th round. Joe Joyce so much more successful when he's keeping him out of range, using that long jab, and the German gets in closer. GRUNER connecting with some nice shots.
That's right. When he comes close, he's able to unload these hooks. Last round now, Joe's got to stay focused, got to keep to the game plan, he's got to stay on his toes and keep peppering out that stiff jab and that straight right hand.
Well, one of the 3 judges had the German, but the other 2 with Joe Joyce. So Joyce getting a lot of instruction from the ring. Here we go for the 5th and final round. Glenn, for me, Joe Joyce, the better of the 2 boxers, but you can see that Philipp GRUNER has already done a season on the WSB. That experience that he's picked up at the Leipzig Leopards has made him a tough customer to break.
It certainly is. You know, if this was a 10 or 12 round fight, you know, who would your money be on? You know, could Joe sustain this kind of work rate for that late for time? But thankfully for tonight, it's only 5 rounds. Joe for me is ahead on points, but yeah, you're right, dead right. You can see where GRUNER is established as the mountain of a confidence and ability.
Well, the steep learning curve for these amateur boxers stepping into the semi-professional ring continues. Selby's had a tough fight, as has Freddie Evans. It's been no easy ride for Joe Joyce in the heavyweight division here. But he's kept about his game plan.
Keep him out. All you got to do is keep him out. Keep that jab in his face. Don't let him come close. Any signs of him coming forward, chuck in that right hand.
Joe Joyce showing that he can still put 4-point combinations in at high speed after 5 rounds, and most of them may have been going into the gloves, but it is doing exactly as our expert in the box, Glenn Catley, has pointed out. It's keeping the German away. He doesn't want to mix it now, doesn't want to let the German in too close, keep him at range, keep that straight jab out in front of the German's nose.
Keep him away, keep peppering that jab.
Screams from the crowd of 1 minute Joe, 1 minute Joe. I think he's got the petrol in the tank to keep this going.
And that hook from Gerber really is the only chance he's got of winning this fight. Catching Joe with that, which he has done from time to time, don't get me wrong, but... Oh, I'm seeing it again there. Got to stay focused, Joe. Got to keep that jab stiff in his face. Got to keep working. This is where you're going to have to dig deep once again. Good shots again from the German.
30 seconds on this match, 30 seconds to bring the evening to a close. And good
better
straight
one.
combinations there from Joe Joyce. Much better, almost finishing as he started. Last-ditch attempt from Philipp GRUNER of the German Eagles. And Joe Joyce continues to impress. The crowd now cheering his every punch. One last big hit from the German, fails to score on the target, and surely that's enough for Joe Joyce to wrap up the heavyweights competition here, and also wrap up tonight's match for the British Lionhearts with a 4-1 win.
Yeah.
Certainly a much more difficult second bout on the WSB for Joe Joyce. He's going through a steep learning curve, just like Selby, just like Freddie Evans. They're learning every time they step into the ring here. But I have to say, Joyce continues to impress me.
He certainly does. He certainly does.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds of heavyweight boxing, here are the judges' score totals. Judges 1 and 2 score the contest 49-46, and the third judge scores the contest 50-45 for your winner by way of unanimous decision, representing British Lionhearts.
What a brilliant performance from Joe Joyce. A unanimous decision. Oh, how about that for a bit of athleticism? A nice little back flip in the ring to show us that with the right training and the right development from Rob McCracken, there's a lot more to come from Joe Joyce.
He certainly is. We said he was an athlete, and he just goes and proves it just there. But one to watch, very, very excited. He's learned an awful lot from this fight. Took 1 or 2 good shots himself, but showed that he has the tenacity, has the ability to overcome, dig deep when the tough gets going.
Well, Joe, an interesting night's work for you. You had the jab working to the right cross all night long. Looked like he was going to go early. It didn't. What was your assessment?
Well, he had a tight guard. It's quite hard getting through the guard sometimes. Like he's probably got a lot of experience, and it was a pleasure of boxing him in my hometown, London.
Your hometown fans, they've certainly embraced your work tonight, and yourself, Joe. You had some quality advice out there. One particular gentleman just shouted all night long, hit him in the head, and that's what you certainly did, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, I was listening to the coaches and the crowd in the audience as well, which helped me with some techniques as well. My ears open.
Thank you. Joe Joyce, ladies and gentlemen. British Lionhearts 4, German Eagles 1 being the final score total. On my recollection, I think that takes us back into
Glenn,
second
a few more
place.
shots of Joe Joyce here. I think he's enjoying his fighting on the WSB as well. Certainly enjoying the support from the crowd tonight.
I think you're dead right. Just seems to be improving every single fight, learning as he goes, and yeah, one certainly to look out for in future years.
At London 2012, ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure that I announce and present to you.
Well,
Anthony Joshua.
what an important night it has been for the British Lionhearts in their quest to make the knockout stages for the 2013 WSB season. 4 wins, just 1 defeat to Sam Maxwell in his debut on the WSB. Here's the confirmation. Success for Ward, success for Selby. Great performances from Freddie Evans and Joe Joyce. And off the back of the defeat in Kazakhstan last week, where they lost 5-0, the British Lionhearts bounce back, Glenn, 4-1, and keep their hopes very much alive of going to the knockout stages, the quarterfinals and the semis. One loss coming from you on the British team performance tonight.
Well, they've got above and beyond the call of duty as far as I'm concerned tonight. They've done everything that they've been asked of, and a little bit more. So I'm looking forward to the next show, and yeah, bring it on. They're doing everything that people are expecting from them.
And of course, perhaps most importantly, we can report that Kazakhstan have won again this evening in their bout. But the British Lionhearts are now second in the Pool B standings. They will be back in action here at the Earl's Court Arena on the 18th of January, when the British Lionhearts meet the USA Knockouts for the second time this season. They beat the Knockouts over in California at the Hangar Stadium 4-1, and great to see that. I'm sure the British Lionhearts will revel in that one. We'll see the boys in real confidence. The USA Knockouts have been a bit of a disappointment, Glenn, but perhaps most importantly, another win on the board for Lionhearts at home can give these inexperienced WSB boxers more confidence. Looking forward to the quarters and the semis.
That's right. Home advantage is always great advantage. We've experienced here tonight. Felt the atmosphere. Really encouraged the British Lions on. They love it, and no doubt that inspires our fighters and really brings out the best of their performance.
Mission accomplished from the British Lionhearts, getting the better of the German Eagles 4-1 and going into second position in the pool standings. From Nick Fellows and Glenn Catley at the Earl's Court Arena in London, thanks for your company. It's goodbye for now.